अभी तो gone live. I think Sunny Bhai is joining now.
Yeah, okay. You say that Sunny bhai, you're going to be live on Hindi, and I'll see you at 6:30 show. Tell him 6:25 you cut the thing so that he can join.
So I forgot that all these things had to be conveyed to him earlier. Otherwise, I would have gone live. Anyways, I'll let him know the moment I shut this down. But anyways, a lot of people have already started. I think it is also because of um, a lot of people have already joined. But we are waiting for the great man, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. He should join us shortly. What we are going to discuss today, of course, is the India South Africa series. It's also sort of an audition for a lot of players for the T20 World Cup that is going to be played in Australia in October, November. But today it's been a hectic day. We've been discussing a lot of numbers, some insane numbers, because apparently so far what has happened is two packages, the IPL for media, IPL media rights have been sold, and the value for which has so far uh, reached over 44,000. And it is possible that every game in the IPL will cost the broadcasters somewhere around 120 crores per game. So that means every ball in the IPL that will be bowled will cost 50 lakhs. That's quite an insane number. So, guys, what you can do is you can also uh, share your comments, your questions. If you have any questions you want to ask from Mr. Gavaskar, uh, please feel free to ask your questions. I'll convey your questions to him, and hopefully, he'll come up with some good answers for you. And he should join us shortly. Malay Pandey, Vaishnavi Swaminathan. Pant at an average of 22 in T20. Can Rahul keep wickets? By Rahul. Okay. A lot of questions, though. In fact, we've been discussing for the last two games. In fact, Rishabh Pant, we've always maintained that as a T20 player, he has underachieved. Uh, and now he's leading the team also. All right. So Mr. Gavaskar should join us shortly. Sanju Samson should be there. Kishore Chaudhary saying. Meet Sony Singh, so much money coming in for IPL rights in a few years. It will be and must run for 6 to 8 months. Then we could well have cricketers from World One. Okay. Like it happens, usually happens with the other major sports leagues. If you see the NFL, the EPL, the number of matches. I think NFL. They have close to 270 odd matches every season. EPL has 380 matches every season. So maybe that is what Meet is suggesting. Tanya. India try, okay, Umran Malik. Somebody is saying Umran Malik or Arshdeep. India, of course, has already lost two matches back to back, and one more loss can would mean that they've lost the series also. And the next match is tomorrow in Vizag. Mr. Gavaskar, hopefully, he must have reached Vizag so by now, and He had to catch up on some sleep, and now he's ready. Yes. Hmm. So, Shinchin, okay. Yug saying, are you? What is Yug? You'll have to send your question again. What exactly? Okay, Avinash Kumar says Sky, Rohit, Ishan, Virat, Rahul, Sky, Hardik, Jadeja, Chahal, Bumrah, Bhuvneshwar, and Mohsin Khan. But I can't say which or for which team. Bishnoi instead of Yuzi Chahal. There you go. All right, we let Mr. Gavaskar fix his frame. Sunny bhai, good evening, Sunny bhai. Sunny bhai, I hope. Sunny bhai, am I audible?
Yeah, speak now.
Yeah. Am I audible, Sunny bhai? Can you hear me? With his. Okay, we let Mr. Gavaskar fix his monitor. So, okay, why we are here is it's a question answer session, of course, with the great man, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar. And what you guys can do is you can send in your questions, whatever you have regarding the India South Africa series or the Indian cricket team. And of course, we've been keeping a close eye on the e-auctions, the IPL media rights auctions. We'll let you know if there is any further update on that. Okay, I think he'll join again. No worries. What is the? I think there are a lot of questions on Rishabh Pant. Okay, there he is.
Listen, I've got to, one sec, I've got to hold on to this because let me find something where I can. Yeah.
Sunny bhai,
I can hear you now.
Has a new location, so he doesn't have a fixed spot from where you can do a live every day. Oh, Sunny bhai, SG T-shirt.
Huh. Can you read it? I just went to Sanskrit Greenlands when I was in Delhi now for the match.
Yes.
Meerut. Visited their new factory after what, 20 years?
Yes,
I've
yes. Oh, yes.
not seen the new factory.
I saw that on your Instagram post. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I can hear you now clearly.
Yeah, they've got a nice outlet right just inside the compound, just outside the stadium. In fact, I went for the launch of that outlet.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the latest? Who's got the rights? I have no idea.
Sunny bhai, package A. So the television rights and the digital rights have been sold. Currently, the digital rights for non-exclusive matches are up for auction, and for the first two, TV and digital combined, the amount has crossed 44,000, which means already 105 to 107 crores per IPL game.
No, but who's got it? They haven't announced that, is it?
Anyway, we just don't want to speculate as of now, because it was a very confidential process and it was all coded. But what we are hearing is Sony and Star are the front runners for TV, and for digital, Viacom. Viacom has bagged the
That's
rights for
Sports 18.
digital. Yes, but Sports 18 is their TV channel. So for digital, they'll have to come up. Boot is their basically digital platform for
Yeah.
Viacom. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they've
Sunny
shown
bhai,
quite a bit of sport. Wood.
yes,
They showed the Thomas Cup and all that badminton and all.
yes. It's quite a good start for them, because not a lot of people think that India would do well in Thomas Cup and Uber Cup, and suddenly what happens? India won that Thomas Cup. But Sunny bhai, Vizag,
In Vizag.
oh, how's the weather?
Humid at the moment.
Oh, so Sunny bhai, already we've invited so many questions for you regarding this five-match series between India and South Africa. Of course, India are trailing 2-0. What do you make of this Indian team? Although it is young, under your first choice captain, of course, has been rested or is resting. KL Rahul unfortunately had to step aside because of that groin injury. Now Rishabh Pant is leading this young Indian team. How do you make of the two matches that you saw?
Well, you got to give credit first and foremost to South Africa for the way they've chased down the totals. Both times, it was not an easy total. In the first game, they were chasing over 200, they were chasing 212. And to get that with an over to spare and with only 4 wickets down, that was truly a remarkable achievement. Terrific batting by their batsmen. And similarly, the second game, where again they were 3 down for 29 in the first half a dozen overs, they were under pressure. To recover from that and then to win again with an over to spare, that just tells about the way this South African team has batted in this tournament. As far as the Indian team is concerned, 212 is a very good score in T20 cricket. So you can't really point fingers at anybody. It was a very good batting pitch at the Stadium. Very good batting pitch where the ball came onto the bat quite nicely. 425 runs in 40 overs is by any standards, it tells you that it's a very good pitch to bat on. I think the concern would be, as far as the Indian team is, that they haven't quite got the start that they need. See, it's so important to get a good start in the first 6 overs. We've been saying that right throughout the IPL, that the first 6 overs are crucial. If you get a good start, it makes a big difference. That's what the Indian team didn't have. And then as far as the bowling is concerned, apart from, say, Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Harshal Patel, who bowled really well, the others really haven't looked as if they would win wickets or put the pressure back, to get the wickets in the middle overs, which is often the key as well. You put the opposition back in the first 6 overs, then in the middle overs, say from the 12th to the 14th, 15th over, you pick a couple of wickets, then you get your position to win. This is what this team has not been able to achieve. Again, the pitches have been very good. Pitch, both the not so much the attack pitch might have been a little bit on the slower side, but this is a young team, so we've just got to give them a few allowances.
Sunny bhai, a lot of questions. If I can see, Jayesh Patel, Vaishnavi Swaminathan, Sai, a lot of people are asking about Rishabh Pant. Considering how well he's done in Test cricket, especially lately, he's won matches single-handedly in Test cricket and possibly in ODI cricket also. But T20 cricket, you think he is underachieved? A lot of people, in fact, wanted to know this.
Looking at his hitting progress, as we've seen him in Test matches over the last 18 months or so, the expectations have obviously gone up. There's no question that the expectations have gone high as far as Rishabh Pant is concerned. But while in Test matches, he's had a little more time to settle down. Here, he hasn't had the time, and therefore maybe the shot selection, trying to make up and get the scoring at about 9 runs and over, maybe more than that, has cost him his wicket. this is the T20 format. When this is where if the ball hits the middle of the bat, it's going to go into the crowd. If it doesn't, you're going to get out. So I mean, it's like you live by the sword and you die by the sword kind of thing. This T20 cricket is.
So anyway, any changes that you would want to, in case you had to make a change? I know we've lost two matches, just two matches. Everybody can say, and these are young Indian players who haven't got too many opportunities in the past. But still, if you had to make a change for the third do-and-die game.
Yes, I think I would look at bringing Umran Malik into the team because what we have seen in the two matches is that we've only taken 7 wickets, 4 and 3. So you need a bowler who would be able to strike at the top, maybe in the middle overs as well, and push the opposition back. And if you have the extra pace, yes, because of the extra pace, you go for runs because the ball will speed off your bat that much quicker as well. With the batsman, really having a go at the ball. But he's got the capability of getting wickets. So wickets are the best dot balls in any form of the cricket, but particularly in the white ball format. So I'd look to make that as a change, but not too many other changes because you don't want to upset the balance of the team.
So anyway, is it possible that fatigue factor or maybe too much of cricket, because majority of these players, in fact, every player is coming after playing a long IPL season. Can that be a factor?
It cannot be excuse. When you represent your country, you forget everything. It's just something that you're just privileged to be in the 14 or the 16 and then in the final 11. So none of these things can be looked upon as an excuse. And after this is just a 2020 format. It's not a long test match format. It's a 3.5 hour game of cricket. So I don't know. Not having played that, it's a little bit unfair for me to pass any judgment. But like I said, if you're playing for your country, you forget everything. You forget aches and pains and everything, and you go out and do your best. Look, South Africa have just played the better cricket in these two matches, so let's give them credit.
And this is a full strength South African team. Even if some of your best players or regular players would have been around, you would have still not just pushed them under the carpet. This South African team, because they've come here with their best possible team.
Yes, that's exactly right. They're playing some good cricket, the batting wise. They've missed out on Quinton de Kock in the last game and Markram, who's got COVID and won't be available for the entire series. So yes, they've also missed a couple of major players. But the guys who have come in have grabbed the opportunity. Klassen at Bhubaneswar. He probably wouldn't have played if Quinton de Kock had been fit. Mm-hmm. But having got the opportunity, he's grabbed it.
So anyway, I remember when Rishabh Pant was announced as captain after KL Rahul got injured with that groin injury. Rishabh Pant said that he was asked about the selection, the possible playing 11. He said that those who were ahead, who got opportunities ahead of some of the newer players, they will continue. They will be the selectors and the team management would want to push them first. Now Deepak Hooda, who's done reasonably well, was left out, and Dinesh Karthik was given the first opportunity in this long series. Was that justified, or would you have wanted Deepak Hooda before Dinesh Karthik was given an opportunity here?
I think you look at the balance of the team, and at that particular point, then you look at Dinesh Karthik as a finisher, and he hasn't done anything wrong at all in the game in Bhubaneswar, but for that last over where he struck so many sixes, India would not have even got to 148. So let's not go that way at all about player A against player B. Like I said, South Africa have played quite the better cricket in these two games, and let's just hope that the Indian team lifts itself up and turns it around from Vizag.
Jayesh Patil, Sunny bhai has an interesting view. He's saying Rishabh Pant as an opener. Is there a possibility in somewhere in the future, or because you already have somebody like KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, even Virat has opened in the past for IPL. In IPL also he opens.
Huh. But it is something that, if India had won the first two games, you could maybe experiment. But now this one is a must-win game for India. Obviously, now every game after this is going to be a must-win game, having been 2-0 down. Every game now, the remaining three games is going to be a must-win game. So I don't think there is too much room for experimentation at this particular point. So I wouldn't want to, go down that route at the moment. No.
Sunny bhai, of course, because majority, in fact, some of the regular players were rested, but then you were given, in fact, youngsters were given opportunities. Ruturaj Gaikwad, Ishan Kishan, Deepak Hooda is also there. Shreyas Iyer is also there. Although we don't know whether he will make it to the T20 World Cup squad or not. Now, Dinesh Karthik is also there. Avesh Khan. But do we have that much room to accommodate so many players in the T20 World Cup squad? Because ultimately, you just have a 15-member squad. So, for opener slot, do you think Ruturaj Gaikwad and Ishan Kishan are actually in the race for a third opener? Because Virat Kohli, as we said, he also opens in the IPL.
I think they will. That certainly be a consideration. Uh, that you want somebody who actually opens the batting as your reserve opener. Also, don't forget that we are playing in Australia, where travel and getting to Australia is not easy. So you to have two spare wicket keepers apart from Rishabh Pant is a huge plus. In fact, it will be three spare wicket keepers. I hope will be Dinesh Karthik. Other wicket keeper is KL Rahul, and then the third one would be Ishan Kishan. So to have these wicket keepers available would be tremendous. Like for example, see what happened to Quinton de Kock. Already had um, Henrik Klaasen available as a wicket keeper. So you really need where traveling is not easy. Reaching a destination quickly enough within 24 hours is not going to be easy. You want some spare players around, and so I would imagine that Ishan Kishan certainly would be in the frame. And if he continues batting the way he has in his first two games, then he'll certainly make a big claim to be on that flight to Melbourne.
So anyway, interesting one. This, in fact, I also wanted to ask this question. Austin Kuna, one of our regular viewers, is asking. Of course, Joe Root has also joined your club, that elite club, which only had 13 players until he also joined that club. Uh, another century. Now he scored 27 hundreds. But important thing is that he's crossed that 10,000 run mark. He's in very good form. Is there a possibility that he will be that guy? He will be that batsman to cross 15,921 runs, that record that Sachin Tendulkar has in its name, under its name.
That's pretty much an insurmountable record, because we're talking about another 6,000 runs, almost another 6,000 runs to be scored. So, which means that you would have to score about 1,000 runs or 800 runs over the next 8 years or thereabouts for you to get there. And Joe Root is what, 33 at the moment. So yes, he's got, or 32. He's got age on his side. He certainly can, if he can maintain that enthusiasm and go on. You saw with Alistair Cook. Alistair Cook retired. He's still playing first-class cricket, but he retired from Test cricket because sometimes the burden of opening the batting and then captaining can get a little too much, and so he retired when he was only 33 or 34 years old. And sometimes, if you're playing around the clock, your form also can drop because there is sometimes a mental tiredness that comes in, especially if you had the kind of last year and a half that Joe Root is at, where he's scoring double hundreds after double hundreds, 150 plus scores that he's getting. That can take a toll on you physically as well as mentally. Anything is possible in the game. We first thought that Richard Hadley's 431 was not going to be possible. That was overtaken. Then we thought Courtney Walsh's 519 was not going to be possible. And so, I mean, look where we are going. But I think the two records really, 800 test hits by Muthaiya Muralidharan and Tendulkar's 15,900 runs are two peaks which will be very, very difficult to conquer. Not impossible, but very, very difficult.
True. Sunny bhai, before I let you go, of course, because Sunny bhai, remember, will again join us on India Today television. That is exactly at 6:30. But Sunny bhai, before I let you go, one final question. Obviously, because a lot of people have asked me to convey their this question to you. We saw this in the IPL also when Ashwin was batting, and he batted pretty well in the last IPL season. So he denied a single to Riyan Parag, who was there at the other end. Something similar we saw, in the first match also, in the first T20 against South Africa, when Hardik Pandya was batting and Dinesh Karthik was at the non-strikers end. So does it actually affect the confidence of a batsman, or was that the right call? Because you've seen that from close quarters, because you was present there physically in that match. During that match, so is that a fair call? Because as you said, Dinesh Karthik, what he did in the last match, those 20-30 runs eventually made a difference of possibly India could have finished with 120, and they finished with 148 on the board.
But these are, a spur of the moment decisions taken. These are spur of the moment decisions taken. And I think in the first game, you would think that.
Anyway, I think I've lost your audio.
So no.
Yeah.
What I was
Anyway,
trying to say is that these are spur of the moment decisions taken on the field, and I do think that because Hardik Pandya had been batting so well, he just got 33 of just 12 or 13 deliveries. He was striking the ball so well. He fancied his chances of hitting the six more than Dinesh Karthik, who had just come into bat. So it's not easy when you have just come into bat to be able to hit the six, and maybe that was the thinking why Hardik Pandya didn't take the single. At the end of the day, it didn't make really any difference because India eventually lost with another over to spare. So even if that last ball had been hit for 4 more runs, because we took out of that last ball was taken for 2 runs, and if you the fifth ball was one, so you're talking about 3 runs. If another 3 runs were to be added, another 9 runs were to be added, it still wouldn't have made much of a difference because South Africa chased down that total.
All right, Sunny bhai, thank you very much for your insights. A lot of talking points. Mr. Gavaskar says that he would want to see an Umran Malik in the third game, although Rahul Dravid did say that Umran may have to wait for his chance just before the series began. But Sunny bhai, thank you very much, and we'll see you on India Today in about 5 odd minutes. Thank you so much, Sunny bhai.
Okay, cheers, bye.